Let's face it, when a woman ignores you, it feels like the world has stopped. You might think, what did I do wrong? Or worse, is she just not that into me? But here's a hard truth. If you're sitting there waiting for her to break the silence or keep guessing what went wrong, you're doing it all wrong. The first thing you need to know when a woman ignores you is this. It's not always about you. Sure, it could be, but more often than not, the real issue isn't you at all. So why get trapped in the victim mentality, hoping she'll suddenly explain herself? This isn't some soap opera, and you're not the main character waiting for a dramatic rescue. You need to break out of the mindset that says you need her validation to feel good about yourself. Here's the thing. Ignoring someone, especially when it comes to men, can trigger a series of emotions: frustration, confusion, even anger. You want answers, and you want them now. But what you really need to understand is that you can't control her actions, but you can control how you respond to them. Rather than looking for reasons why she's ignoring you, focus on your own behavior. This is your chance to reflect, not just chase after someone who's not engaging. Your value as a man is not defined by whether or not she answers your texts, picks up your calls, or gives you the attention you want. If you're always chasing validation, you're missing the point. In the next few sections, I'm going to teach you how to handle this situation like a confident, grounded man, not some guy lost in his feelings, waiting for a woman's approval. Whether she's ignoring you out of choice or just caught up in her own world, it's time for you to stop waiting around and start taking control of the situation. Stop chasing her. You're better than that. It's time to stop chasing. Seriously. If you're constantly reaching out, trying to figure out why she's ignoring you, or running after her every time she pulls back, you're selling yourself short. You're better than that. The moment you start chasing is the moment you lose your power. When a woman sees you as someone who will drop everything for her attention, it's not flattering. It's weak. Think about it. If you're always running after someone, what happens? You're essentially telling her that you'll only feel good about yourself when she notices you. And that's the opposite of confidence. Confidence isn't about needing someone else's approval to feel worthy. It's about knowing your worth, even when no one else recognizes it. So what should you do instead of chasing her? Stop. Start focusing on yourself, your goals, your passions, and your life outside of her. A woman wants a man who has his own thing going on, not someone who is constantly orbiting her world, waiting for a chance to get her attention. You need to be the kind of man who's busy enough to not let her ignoring you define your day. Practical example. Let's say you've been texting her nonstop for days, asking if she's okay, wondering why she's not responding. You feel frustrated, like you're doing something wrong. But imagine this. The next time she goes silent, instead of sending another text, you focus on something else. Whether it's hitting the gym, working on a side project, or hanging out with friends. A few days later, she texts you, "Hey, what's up?" Now, your response isn't desperate. It's calm. It's clear that you didn't sit around waiting for her to contact you. That's powerful. When you stop chasing her, you regain your independence. You create space for yourself, and that's attractive. She'll respect your time more because you respect yourself. Women are drawn to men who have a sense of purpose and confidence that doesn't depend on her attention. Your value isn't measured by how much you chase her. It's measured by how you carry yourself, no matter what. 2. Don't assume she's playing games. The moment you think she's playing games, you've already lost the plot. Stop thinking every woman who ignores you is deliberately trying to mess with your head. That mindset, it's toxic, and it only makes you look insecure. Just because she's not responding doesn't mean she's being manipulative or trying to make you jealous. You need to stop assuming the worst. We've all been there. You send that text, and it goes unanswered. Your first thought is, she's playing hard to get, she's waiting for me to chase her more. But what if that's not the case? What if she's simply busy, or dealing with her own life, or just doesn't have the emotional energy to reply right now? Assuming she's playing games only fuels your frustration and paranoia. It's not about her anymore. It's about you creating a story in your head that isn't based on reality. When you start thinking a woman is playing games, you're ignoring the fact that you don't know what's going on in her world. She might have a full plate, work, family, personal issues, anything that's taking her attention away. So stop making it about you. That's the first step in building a healthy mindset. If you start viewing her lack of response as her playing games, you're losing focus on what really matters: your own life, growth, and emotional stability. Practical example. Let's say you've been texting her all day, but she doesn't reply. Your mind starts spinning, thinking she's purposely ignoring you to get a reaction. Now you're ready to send a passive-aggressive message like, "I see how it is." But before you hit send, take a step back. What if she's just had a crazy day at work or dealing with something personal? The moment you send that message, you've created drama out of thin air, and you look desperate. Instead, you decide to wait it out. You focus on your own day, your job, your hobbies, your friends. And 2 days later, she reaches out. She might apologize for the delay or explain what she was going through. You've maintained your composure, and that's what builds respect. When you stop assuming she's playing games, you free yourself from unnecessary drama. You create space for maturity and understanding, and you start seeing things as they truly are, not as you fear them to be. 3. Focus on your own life, not her silence. Here's the reality. When a woman ignores you, your first instinct might be to obsess over why. You'll replay every conversation, overanalyze every word, and wonder where you went wrong. But here's a hard truth you need to accept. Her silence doesn't have to be your problem. It's not your responsibility to fix every moment of tension or confusion she creates. The more you focus on her, the more you're ignoring your own life, your goals, and what really matters. You've probably had days when you felt stuck, waiting for her response, hoping for that text back. It's frustrating, isn't it? But what if instead of waiting for her to make the next move, you took control of your own time and energy? The truth is, you've got way more going on than just this one situation. Whether it's work, fitness, hobbies, or friends, your life should be about much more than the uncertainty of her silence. When you put all your focus on why she's ignoring you, you start losing track of what makes you a strong, independent man. You become reactive, waiting for her to define your next move. But the man you should be is proactive, a man who creates his own path and doesn't wait for permission. When you focus on your own life, you're taking your power back. It's about being someone who's not affected by the ebb and flow of someone else's attention. Think about it. If she's not responding, it's her choice, not yours. That silence is her space, and you don't need to fill it. You've got your own life to lead. That means keeping up with your goals, strengthening your passions, and being present in the things that matter to you. When you do this, you're showing her and yourself that you are your own person. You don't need validation from anyone to feel whole. The more you focus on yourself and stay grounded, the less power her silence has over you. And honestly, that's the kind of mindset that attracts the right people, because the right person will appreciate your independence. You can't build a fulfilling life by waiting around for someone else to complete it. You've got everything you need already. You just need to stop waiting for her to notice. Understand that ignoring doesn't always mean rejection. It's time to wake up. Just because a woman ignores you doesn't mean she's rejecting you. So stop jumping to conclusions and thinking every silence is a door slammed in your face. The reality is, many men get caught up in their own egos, assuming that every time a woman pulls away, it's because she's not interested or has decided you're not good enough. But here's the truth. That's not always the case. Men tend to overvalue their importance in women's lives, and when something goes quiet, they automatically think it's personal. You're not the center of her universe, and that's a hard pill to swallow for many guys. Just because she's not responding doesn't mean she's lost interest in you. Maybe she's busy, maybe she's dealing with personal stuff, or maybe she just needs space to think. You need to stop letting your mind race, and your emotions take over every time you're ignored. It's not always about you, so stop making it all about you. The problem is, many men get stuck in this cycle of overthinking and taking things personally. They assume rejection when really it's just a simple lack of communication. You might think, she's ignoring me, I must have done something wrong. But here's the thing. How about you consider that you didn't do anything wrong at all? How about you consider that maybe, just maybe, she's going through her own stuff and you're just not in her headspace right now? It's time to stop being so sensitive. This isn't high school drama. If you're going to be a man, you need to wake up and realize that not every response or lack thereof is a reflection of your worth. A woman's silence doesn't mean you're less than. It doesn't mean you're unworthy of love or respect. It's just part of life. Stop reading into it and start living your own life, unaffected by the mood swings or silences of someone else. It's a hard truth, but a necessary one. Stop letting her actions dictate your sense of self. If you continue to do this, you'll find yourself always on the defensive, always guessing. Wake up. Focus on what you can control, yourself. If she's ignoring you, deal with it. But don't let that silence define your value. Your worth was never based on her response in the first place. 5. Take control. move on without her. It's time for the final wake-up call. If she's ignoring you, move on, and do it without hesitation. No more waiting around, no more wondering if she's going to change her mind. If you're serious about becoming a man who takes control of his life, you have to stop clinging to someone who's not giving you the time and respect you deserve. Here's the problem. Too many men get stuck. They sit around, hoping, waiting, thinking that eventually she'll come back around and everything will magically work out. Newsflash, it won't. If she's ignoring you, there's no reason to keep holding on to someone who's clearly not prioritizing you. It's time to put your energy into something that actually adds to your life, not someone who takes from it. When you take control, you don't wait for her to decide if she's going to show up for you. You don't make your happiness contingent on whether or not she answers your texts. Instead, you take action. You move on with your life and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. That means improving your career, taking care of your body, developing new skills, and surrounding yourself with people who appreciate you. Moving on doesn't mean you're giving up on relationships or that you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to stop being someone's backup plan. A man who knows his worth doesn't chase after anyone who doesn't respect him. If she's not giving you the attention you want, fine, move on, keep going, and don't look back. Here's the kicker. The moment you decide to move on, you create space for better opportunities. When you stop waiting for her to come around, you open up the possibility of attracting someone who respects your time, your energy, and your worth. So, stop wasting time on someone who isn't prioritizing you. The best way to show her, and the world, that you're the kind of man who's worth their time is by walking away when your value isn't being recognized. It's a simple truth. Men who take control of their own lives don't sit around waiting for someone else to fix things for them. They move on, and they make their own future. Let's be real. If you're still sitting there waiting for her to come around, you're wasting your time. The truth is, women are attracted to men who take control of their lives, not men who are desperate for their attention. If you keep waiting for her to make the first move, you're not a man of action, you're a man of reaction. So take charge of your life, stop chasing, and start living. I want to hear from you. Comment below and share your experiences. I'll reach out and we'll connect. You're not alone in this journey.